Today we're going to be using crayon to create this fun fall sunset silhouette drawing. To get started, you're going to need warm colors. So that means red, orange, and yellow. And you're also going to need a black crayon. My first suggestion to you is going to be that you start by folding your paper in half. We're going to be doing a lot of coloring and your hands are probably going to get a little bit tired. So if you're using a half a page, it's going to be a lot easier on your hands. And when you're done, you're going to have a greeting card that you could send to somebody special. So I'm just going to take one side of my page and do my best to line up the edges. And then I'm going to hold it down with one hand. So get it really lined up nice and straight. Put one hand down on the open part and use your other hand to crease your edges. Do your best to get a nice straight fold. Now grab your black crayon and right next to the fold, I'm going to draw a line from the top to the bottom of the page. Then in the middle of that line, I'm going to draw a line over to the right. You really don't want to get it all the way to the edge of the page like I did, but draw a line from the middle going over towards the open side. For the birds, I'm going to start with an oval for the body, and he's sort of leaning towards that tree trunk a little bit, and then a circle for the head. I'm going to give him a little triangle for his beak, and then add some tail feathers. The tail feathers are sort of bending in the same direction as the body of the bird. I'm going to give him a little triangle for the back of his wing, and then he's going to be all set. So now I need to try it again. The bird on the other side is going to be leaning a little bit towards him. They're having a conversation. So draw an oval for the body, a circle for the head. All right, now that head's a little bit small, so if I need to color it a little bit bigger, that's okay, because we're going to end up coloring in these pretty solid black. I need to give him some tail feathers, and then a little triangle again for the wing. Once you have your birds drawn, you can go ahead and color them in black. So this is what we call a silhouette. The moonlight is going to be behind them, and when it gets a little bit later in the day, the light comes from behind shapes and it makes them look really dark, like a silhouette, and you can no longer see all their little details. So color in those birds nice and solid, and we're going to do the same thing with the tree in a minute. Now it's time for the tree and the branches. When you look at a tree, you might notice that the trunk is the thickest part of the tree, and then as the branches grow out, they get smaller and smaller and smaller as they get farther away from the trunk. So I'm going to take a second right now and make that branch under my birds just a little bit thicker. And then growing out from that branch, I can have some smaller twigs that will get thinner and thinner as they get farther away from the tree. My tree trunk needs to be a lot heavier, so I'm going to go and make that a double line and then spend some time coloring it a nice solid black. Now it's your turn to get creative with those branches. Remember, as they grow away from the tree, they're going to get thinner and thinner. So usually what I do is I sort of put the sticks in first, and then I'll go back and I'll use my crayon to thicken up the branches a little bit. Then once you get your branches all set, you can go back in and add some leaves. Try to remember that the leaves grow out from the twigs at the end of the branches. They don't really grow from the middle of the trunk. So if there's a spot you want to put some leaves, go back in and try to add a little twig first so they have something to hold on to.